Alright guys, hey, Jason with Fender Garage, and we are in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee at the F100 Grand National Show. Tons of trucks are here. I bet let's see, it's Friday. Yeah, today's Friday, and there's about probably 750 trucks that have shown up today. Probably a few more tomorrow, probably break 800. That's a lot of F100s, and so I want to talk about a couple here. So this is a 1956 Ford pickup truck, and it's got a coyote swap, new chassis, super rad truck. Of course, we built this one, and it's just about finished, about ready to go to the customer. A few more little things and we'll be done. Basically, just kind of a clean, modern look. We got a little tonneau cover by Pros Pick on it, a wood bed. I don't remember the wood species. I think it's called Afrormosia. But anyway, so that's in there. But it's a traditional 1956 Ford F100 pickup truck that you're used to seeing. This is a small window, very common, very popular. So let's back up over here. I want to show you this truck, which looks the exact same. Again, this is a 1956 Ford pickup truck, small window, the exact same thing, other than this one wasn't built here in the United States. This one was built in Canada. And so this is a Mercury F100. You can kind of take a look at the emblems here. And on the back, the tailgate says Mercury. And so this was built in a Canada plant. You can see the lettering right there. So we're gonna get Dave, who owns this truck, to come over here and talk to us and tell us a bit about it. He's like a Mercury nut. Dave, come over here and talk to us. All right, so this is Dave Iverson. He's the owner of this truck, a friend of ours. We've done some work on a truck in the past. He is a Mercury fanatic. He loves all things Mercury. Tell us a little bit about the Mercury, its history, and what you know about it.
Okay, this is a 56, as Jason's already said. They began making Mercuries in 1946. They made them through 1968. They're produced in Canada. So any of the Mercuries you see in this country had to be imported into this country, which requires a little paperwork and messing around, logistics kind of thing.
So I do have a question. So on the VIN and on the frame, you know how it says F1 and then all the other, does this say M?
It does not.
What does the VIN say on it?
You can take a look at it if you like.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Do they leave an M off or F, or how do they do it?
This particular model, they don't have an M. This one begins with a 1 and then followed by an 8. Some of the VIN numbers on different years are different than this. They're not all the standard VIN.
Tell us about your build here, and I think you had some work done on it in Canada as well.
Started out that way. The gentleman that I bought the truck from located it for me. Basically a barn find. It had been restored in 1995. It was turquoise in color. The motor came out of a squad car, so it's a P71 4.6 liter out of a 2008. It's got a 2003 Cobra supercharger on top with about 10 pounds of boost. It was tuned by a professional tuner in Georgia, Moe's Speed Shop. They did some of the hose work for me and some other various work.
Did you get a dyno to know how much horsepower?
300. Yes, we did. Yeah, 365 horsepower.
Okay, 365
at the wheels.
Okay.
About 375 foot-pounds of torque. It's got the standard 4-speed overdrive, electronic overdrive.
So with the supercharger and everything on it, even though it's an older motor, it's still putting out as much horsepower to the wheels as a Coyote motor.
It is, basically,
so,
yeah.
I mean, it's going to feel a lot the same.
Oh, yes.
Performance-wise.
It's got an 8.8 rear end out of an Explorer.
Okay, it's like an 89 Explorer-ish
right around
rear
there.
end, yeah.
So we have disc brakes all the way around.
Posi traction, so it's
Posi
373 gears.
Exactly what it is.
Okay, that's what they came with.
Yep. Some of the other components are straight out of the Crown Vic donor car. It's got a TCI front suspension. That needs to be dialed in a little bit better, but looks like a nice suspension so far. Interior is got some refinement needed, but
I noticed, I was talking to him yesterday, it's very common in F100s to get like a late 80s truck pickup seat. The bracket mounting and all that stuff is very conducive to the F100s. I asked him the other day, I said, oh, you got the one with the center armrest? And he said, no, I don't have that. And so sure enough, as Dave comes to look at his truck, we introduced to him the armrest that he didn't know he had. Wow. So in all fairness, he's only had this truck for about a few weeks to himself to actually go through it. So I think you're getting ready to do a new interior on it pretty soon. Yes. Probably like a black leather interior will be super sharp, and which will really complement, you know, well with the silver paint. Silver and black just goes well, and then you got these cool white walls. Are these like Diamondback Classic?
They're Diamondback. They're basically BF Goodrich radial TA. In the front, got Nitto. In the back, they're a drag radial.
Okay.
which they no longer make.
Are these like which company's doing that? Is this
Wheel Vintiques.
Wheel Vintiques,
out of
okay.
California.
And then you got the chrome spider cap on there, which is kind of a cool hot rod, old school look, which I totally dig it. So you didn't go big back window. They not make big back windows in Canada. So talk to me about that.
That's a good question, actually. They did not make it in the M100.
Okay.
They only were available in the larger trucks.
It's like the long bed.
Well, like the cab overs.
Okay, cab overs.
It's my understanding that they were never manufactured in Canada. Rather, they were manufactured in California, brought to Canada, where they were badged and completed there, and then they were sold in Canada as Mercuries. They're very rare.
So as you know, the big back window, everyone has the opinion on where they were built, right? And I think most of us agree the San Jose plant in California did all the big back windows, and there's a huge argument on whether or not they were made in the Midwest. My estimate, I don't know, is maybe there were 6,000-ish big back windows that were even made. What do you think?
Oh, I also run a group on Facebook. It's the Big Back Window Registry, 56 Big Back Window Registry. That controversy has been going on forever.
Long time.
I actually traced down who started the rumor about the 6,000.
Okay.
Actually, through a nephew of his.
Okay.
I don't want to mention his name to disparage
Sure.
him. He's not here anymore to defend himself. There's really no telling how many the number of that is, because it doesn't show in any records anywhere.
Right.
The VIN number doesn't have anything.
Right.
So it's anyone's guess. The research I've done looks very likely that big back windows were produced in other plants. The majority, however, were produced in the San Jose plant. So I've had theories on it, but no evidence on.
No evidence. So the mystery will still be a mystery.
It'll always be.
But there's not very many, and there's more and more big back windows now because people are putting the conversion kits in it and making that change, which is cool still. Like, I'm okay. If it's done well and done right, you know, the big back windows are cool. It's a little bit more of a fishbowl look. It's going to be hotter inside the cab. I mean, it's going to burn your neck a little bit more. And so if you tint it, then maybe, you know, it's a little bit better. Anything else you want to tell us about this that you've done or are going to do to it?
Just the interior, basically, and just some fine tuning.
Now, you've had other trucks. This isn't like your first one.
On my first rodeo.
You're an avid F100. You've had a 57, right? You had that?
57 M100, and I had a 57 F100 both. 56 I like the best. It's the one-year cab.
Yeah.
With the wraparound front windshield, and I think it's just got more character than the slant cabs. Not to take away from them, but I prefer these.
Yeah. Well, and these have this like little brim that comes over where you get this, you know, the other one has like a little bit more of a forehead on it. I actually want to take a 53, 55 and I want to put the brim on it to give it a little more aggressive look. I'm just waiting for the right customer to say, you have my permission, Jason, go ahead and do that. So a little bit of history on the Mercury trucks. Again, if you want one, they're in Canada, and all the emblems and all that other stuff, no one makes it, so you got to find originals and have them either re-chromed or whatever. But it's a very cool truck. So Dave, thanks for giving us a little bit of history on it.
Absolutely.
Talking to us about it, and hopefully you get it done soon and be cruising it all over, right?
Yeah, try to burn the tires off.
All right, thanks, man.
You betcha. Thank you.